Welcome back to the Red River Cares podcast. I'm your host, Gina Burke. I am excited to have Kimberly Cummings on the show today. We first met Kimberly when she was a recipient of our student scholarship in 2022. Kimberly was off to attend Worcester Polytechnic Institute, obtaining our bachelor's degree in computer science with a minor in mathematics. We recently crossed paths again when she applied for the Marcy Levesque Women in Tech Scholarship, and I wanted to take a moment to read you the full description of this important scholarship. Marcy Levesque was a beloved member of the Red River family. She was our first remote Network Operations Center employee and an engineer at heart. Marcy joined Red River in 2017 as a network engineer and within months was a technical supervisor of her department. She has held multiple roles within the managed service organization and joined the enterprise support team in 2021. It was Marcy's ability to communicate, solve problems, and her compassion for others that highlights the impact that she made on Red River and the customers she supported. Marcy loved technology and was a lifelong learner. We have created this scholarship in Marcy's honor to support women studying technology. In the U.S., women represent only 24% of the technology workforce. We hope to encourage women to pursue computer science, engineering, and technical studies and become leaders in these fields. So with that, Kim, welcome to the show. Kim, welcome to the Red River Cares podcast. We're so happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
I know. I'm so psyched that we got to catch up. So we first met when you won our student scholarship back in 2022. And here you are now. You were a recent winner of our Marcy Levesque Women in Tech Scholarship, which we'll definitely talk more about. But why don't you just catch us up? Fill us in on what happened since we last seen you when you won the student scholarship. How's college going? What you've been up to? That kind of thing.
All right. So my name is Kim, and I'm a CS major here at WPI, which is Worcester Polytechnic Institute. And I'm really interested in any aspect of STEM. I was part of the combat robotics team last year. And I had a lot of fun with that and made a little like robot that was less than a pound. And then last night, actually, I was voted to be the event coordinator for Women in CS. And I've also become the project manager for a nonprofit that's the Universal Education Initiative, which is WPI run. And the whole idea is to create CS curriculum and give it to other countries. So right now our target is Venezuela, and we're working with a school in Venezuela and send that curriculum to them so that they can get hands-on access to STEM terms and learn things before they go to college and give them a leg up.
Amazing. So it sounds like you're kicking butt at college is what I'm hearing you say. So for anyone that doesn't know, CS, are you talking computer science?
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're so into the lingo now that you are just abbreviating it. That's awesome. So what else is going on? So you've been doing, it sounds like a lot of extracurricular things above and beyond your course load. You just mentioned prior to getting on the call that your intramural team won last night. So what was that about? What sport was this and what were you up to?
It was my intramural soccer team.
Nice.
And this is our second year doing it, and last year we got out in quarterfinals, and this year we just kept on plowing through people. It was just win after win. We were undefeated. It was kind of crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is this women co-ed? What is this like?
It's co-ed.
Nice.
So there's 20 teams, and out of those 20 teams, I think there's 4 girls on rosters.
Come on.
So it's a little bit hard when you're on the field. Most of the time when I'm playing, I'm the only woman on the whole field. But last night I did make the very last goal of the game.
What? Yes. Step it up, women of WPI. Get your soccer games going. What the heck? 4 people? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just hard because a lot of people are really competitive about it, and they're like, we don't want women on our team, like, we just want the best, which is annoying because it's like, I got a lot of goals, honestly, so I'm like, I don't really see how, like, not including women helps because, like, there's definitely a lot of women at this school who know how to play soccer.
Yeah, we need to start a revolution. So after you take over the world in computer science, soccer, getting more women playing soccer in intramural college is next on the list. So how are your classes been going?
My classes are going pretty well. So here at WPI, we have a quarter system. So
Okay.
we have like 7 weeks of three classes instead of the normal like semester base. So right now I'm in two computer science classes and then one data science class. So it's a lot of like technical classes. I'm learning about language theory, which is really interesting to me, and then like algorithms right now. And then data science is using like Python to do like linear regression models and like analyze data on like a big margin, like a lot of data all at once.
Unbelievable. Sounds like it's going really great. Has there been a class that has been a standout for you so far? What's been your favorite?
My favorite class is this class called Systems, which is in, I don't know how much like technical experience you have, but it's in this programming language called C and C++. plus plus. So you learn like how to code in those and you talk about like pointers. And I really just I loved like the teacher and I loved the content and we talked about like memory allocation and I just really liked like learning about the subject and want to do more.
That's awesome. So, is that the path you think you're headed down? Like, where are you hoping this degree takes you? Are you still trying to figure that out?
I'm hoping to, after I finish my undergrad, to try to pursue my MBA. And then I want to get on to like the more like management side of things. So like right now I'm aiming for like a technical project manager who oversees like programming projects.
Very cool. So, tell us a little bit about, you first got introduced to Red River when you won the student scholarship. And again, we put out for the Marcy Levesque Women in Tech Scholarship in honor of an employee that we had lost, who was a very technical engineer herself. And this scholarship was for women who are continuing in the IT field. So you applied for that and recently won. Can you talk to us a little bit about that whole process for you?
Like the application process or
Yeah, just like how you heard about it and why this was appealing to go after.
I was reached out by Red River since I had previously won scholarships, and they like told us that there's this new scholarship, and I saw it, and I instantly was like, "Oh my, like this is perfect!" Like, except it's unfortunate, uh, like reasoning for it. But then I was like, this is something that like I really believe in, and like as I mentioned earlier, I am part of Women in Computer Science here at WPI, and I really am pushing for like more inclusion for women in any STEM field, but like and seeing this scholarship was just like really helpful. And then like I applied and was like I really hope I get that because it means a lot to me as someone who wants more women in STEM.
Awesome. So why is that important to you? Why do you think that we need more women in the STEM field?
I come from Vermont, so it's a small rural town that I grew up in, and I told people, "Oh, I'm gonna major in computer science." And I faced a lot of like people were like, "Oh, I don't think you're really the right type for that. You're not cut out for it. Like, we don't really know if you're gonna do well in that field." And it really like took a toll on my confidence, and I hadn't even started my education yet. And then like at WPI, I still have times where people will talk down to me and undervalue me, and I feel like I'm almost always like one of the only women in a room, and it's really hard like to make your voice heard when people are always like trying to talk over you and be like, "No, I know better than you," even if they have no reason to think that. So I definitely know how it feels firsthand. And like, it's easy to say, like, oh, like, the percentage of like women and like men in STEM is like off by a lot. But then it's really different when you actually see it. And like, WPI is mostly male dominated. So like my computer science classes are almost all men. They'll be in my foundations of CS class right now. I think there's 5 women in the whole lecture hall.
Really is unbelievable to think about. Well, I think partly it's like as women or any underrepresented group, you have to see people ahead of you sort of forging that path and making you believe like I can be in this space and I deserve to be in this space. And then the other part is like you just knowing this is your passion and this is something that you know you want to be doing, and it's just like I'm doing this regardless of who's in this room, and sort of creating that space because you do belong there, and this is clearly something that you're really aligned with and you're passionate about. So it's just like kind of owning the fact that all right, I am the only one and I will continue to be the only one, and I'm hoping to like drag more people along with me, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of like speaking, like I go back home and like tell people about it and stuff and try to like inspire younger people in my high school to kind of go towards these like fields. Because I'm like, yeah, it can be really hard at times, but also like you deserve to be there as much as anyone else.
Right. So why do you think this is a good path? Do you feel like because technology is such a prevalent part of our world, because it's financially going to be a good decision, like why do you think this is important, this field in general?
I think it's really important because technology runs almost everything nowadays. And like I really appreciate knowing how like software works and how everything like works together. And I find it really interesting. And I felt like in my small town, it really wasn't discussed. Like we didn't have any computer science classes and like it was hard to get your hands on it. So like if people are like kind of unsure, like they're like, is this right for me? I think a lot of people should just try it and see if they like it.
Yeah, I think that's why, I don't know if you know, but Red River has put in a couple STEM labs at underserved schools in partnership with the Boston Bruins. And I think what you're saying is exactly why we do that. We want younger children, especially girls, to get exposed to these various fields of technology and just try them on. Like, you're not going to know if you like it until you are physically hands on doing the work, and just having, again, just exposure is so important to someone that's like, I don't really know what I want to do, but this seems like a lucrative career path. And it's just like you have to provide those opportunities. So it sounds like where you grew up in Vermont, you really didn't have those opportunities. So I'm kind of curious, like, what do you have a parent, or were you influenced by someone, a teacher? Like, what got you excited to like even try it?
I would say I'm definitely inspired by my stepfather, who's really into like computers and things like that. And then my stepbrothers are both into like computer science and coding, and like they're a little bit on a different like spectrum of the field. So like one of them's in IT work specifically, and then the other one is at college at Champlain. And I was just kind of like, I would see them like doing their work, and I was like, I'm interested in this and I want to learn more.
That's very cool. All right, are you ready for the rapid fire round?
As ready as I'll ever be.
I didn't warn you about this, but essentially, whatever comes to mind is your answer, and you can't really explain it. It's just like a one word or, a phrase, and that's about it. So, here we go. So, what is your favorite thing to do in your spare time when you're not studying or taking over the world in soccer?
I really like to read or play video games.
Awesome. All right. Let's see. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
Uh, it'd probably be on Christmas Eve when you like get like the whole family together and like sit around and like just talk to each other.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. I can't get into it. I was going to expand, but I won't do it yet. So what have you missed most about home now that you've been away at college?
It's definitely the trees and like fall foliage and the mountains a lot. Worcester is not as pretty as Vermont.
That's a fact. I believe it. What is the most tolerable food in the dining commons?
There's this new chicken place called Jamal's Chicken, and their chicken sandwiches are really good.
Awesome. Okay. And then last question, just in general, just something that you're looking forward to.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to like Christmas break and getting to see like my friends from home and stuff like that.
Awesome. So before we part ways today, is there any other things that you want to share with us, either about your journey or anything about women in tech, or I don't know, just anything that you want to kind of leave our listeners with today?
I really want everyone to know, and especially if you're underrepresented in technology, that there are people there for you and that there's organizations that push for that, like the Society of Women Engineers, the Women in Computer Science, and that if you're feeling like left out or lonely, or if your college doesn't have chapters of these clubs, make them yourself and start making these places like recognize you as an individual and really just push for that change.
Yes, I just got chills. That was amazing. I totally agree with you. Create the spaces you want to see, and just more people will come, and you'll inspire others to follow behind you. And I can't wait to see what you continue to do in your journey with computer science. You're making us so proud at Red River. And I just want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Hopefully you enjoyed that episode. As you can hear from our discussion, Kimberly embodies everything the Marcy Levesque Women in Tech Scholarship stands for. She is carving a path to inspire other women and girls to get excited about the field of technology. As a company, we are so proud to support women like Kimberly. To learn more about the Marcy Levesque Scholarship or any of our other scholarships, be sure to visit the philanthropy page on redriver.com. And as always, tune in to be inspired.